kid.
Welcome to the Unphazed Podcast, the number one motortainment show in the world. You see, I got my thing all crooked. You see, we loaded up today. This is the number one motortainment show in the world, man. I'm Unphazed Guru. I'm the Unphazed Sensei. I'm so blessed and so happy to have this 30-day. We did it, everybody. 30 days unfazed. We are here, and we got another amazing episode. We're not going to recap it just yet. We're not. We're going to give you 30 days. We're going to give you one more banger of episode right here live. WNBA coming at you full steam ahead. We got Malik. We got Real Deal McNeil. Let's do it, man.
I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed, yeah, I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed, yeah, I'm unfazed, I'm unfazed, yeah, finna stack this paper, I'm unfazed, yeah, finna stack this paper, I'm unfazed.
Bring them boys out. Bring them boys out.
Wait.
Hey, you look like LA Fitness. The dudes, like, I would cook you. Look at that shot. I don't like that shot. It's up. You got to keep it up here. Come on, you know we got to keep it up there. What's going on?
I was on my player shit. You see, I had the
you look like a creative player though.
Come on, hey.
Link, what's going on, baby?
What's happening, bro? 30 days.
30 days. 30 days.
Come on, man.
Oh, no. He didn't fell out the chair. Look at you.
That's a foul.
That's a foul, bro. Uno.
Call that.
Ball's the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laying it up.
But 30 days, though, man, it's crazy. Yeah.
30. Come on, man.
Every day.
What's good, man? We here.
Every day.
Back with another banger. 30-day pod.
Every day.
Day 30. Can we get some music, some celebration music? We made it, baby.
Man, yeah.
30 days straight streaming.
What you want to see? I got a lot of stuff. I got praise breaks. I got a lot of good stuff.
Save the praise break. Let me get one of them like parades or even give us our theme music. All right, praise.
Oh,
3-0. 3-0. Come on, man. Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna save it though. I'm not gonna get too much. Okay. What position you play? You point guard? You a shooter?
Come on now, I'm a role player wherever they need me. 6 man off the bench, shooting guard coming in. If I need to rotate a small forward, I'll pick up the big.
Okay.
Close out.
Me, I was a big rebounder. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Very much.
Like I had no left.
I may have been giving Angel Reese a run for her money if I was in there. I'm good boxed out.
Yeah, she's 6'4" though. 6'5". I don't know.
Cool. They think it'll be easy. Angel Reese giving a lot of people 15 easy.
Come on now.
15. And that is crazy. That is actually so impressive.
Whatever.
Just to come in the league and be like, okay, I'll get all those. Give me that.
You don't want that? Oh, let me get my own bag.
I'll take it.
But y'all didn't know we can take these?
Like I'm on free.
Exactly. I'm just leaving it out here. I'll take it. Like it's cool. Whatever.
But yeah, man, great episode loaded. I'm very excited this episode. Again, day 30. We did it. They didn't think we was gonna do it, but God did. Come on now. Believe in yourself. Set your mind to it.
Yes, he did.
Great episode loaded.
Yes,
and I'm just going ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. I think the rims should be lower than the WNBA. That's what we're talking about today. I think the rims should be lower.
You and Shaq,
should be lower,
apparently.
and here's why. And y'all stay tuned. First and foremost, and we got a lot of good, compelling arguments. It would make, as we already know, people been saying this, it would make women's basketball that much more exciting to watch. It's already becoming exciting to watch. I'm not taking nothing away from the ladies right now. They hooping, they balling, but it wouldn't be nothing better than seeing somebody, right on, especially with all the beef and tension between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Can you imagine Angel Reese coming down the lane?
That's what you want to see.
Names. Come on now.
Yeah. So you saying they should lower the rim? Lower the rim. Explain yourself. Lower it to what?
I don't know that, that was a great question. I don't know what that answer is because even with lowering it a foot, because some people are saying 9 feet, some people are saying 9'5", some people are saying like just 2 inches or whatever. But I think the height in which you lower it to is going to make a big difference because respectfully, there's not a lot of like ladies that can. First of all, I think the statistic was like I think there's been 35 dunks or something like that, 37 in WNBA, and
In
25 of them came
history.
from in history, and
Oh wow.
25 of them came from Brittany Griner.
Wow. She's a
So
dog.
she
She's
like
a dog
so
for that.
That's all right.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to say like even if we was lower foot, majority of the league wouldn't be able to dunk steel on a 9 foot rim, but
Yeah.
it gives that much more of opportunity for the ladies that are close or right there to go ahead
Yeah.
and
So
say
so
have
would
that.
would it be more exciting? I think it's very exciting because this is the first time I've watched the NBA WNBA All-Star game and I loved it. Like I know people were clowning or whatever, but I watched. I had a really good time enjoying that game. Would it be more exciting with seeing them dunk? Yes, I'm sure it would.
Well,
I'm gonna put
definitely.
that out there. Yes, but like we got to think about this. If they lower the rims, they also you have to shoot. Like basketball is a fundamental game. So now you're gonna say I'm gonna take away a million reps that Caitlin Clark,
Facts.
that Angel Reese, that Asia Wilson, that Ionescu. Like you're gonna take away millions of reps that they did because you're gonna lower the rim because that
Okay, think about
matters.
this though.
That
Think about this though.
matters.
And I know this may be a bad analogy or a bad comparison, but think about the NFL first for say.
Hmm.
They are constantly adding new rules to the league. The kickoff rule, for example,
Hmm.
you train. That's all you knew was running down there crashing out. And as a returner, being able to set up the lane, set up the block. You practice, okay, this, that, and third. Now with that switcheroo of, you know what I'm saying, these rules, you got to make that adjustment. So yes, will it be a disadvantage for those who've already been shooting on that rim for so long? I would say yes and no, because you got to think about it. How many times have we hooped on a shorter rim and been
I
even more
don't. That
cash
can't. That
money?
can't really be a yes or no though. It's not a yes or no. It definitely. You're shooting somewhere different, so it's completely a yes. It can't be a yes and no.
And I'll hop in and say, even if let's say shooting on a lower rim is also easier.
Hmm.
Let's
Hmm.
hypothesize because like
Yeah.
I hooped on the smaller goals and
I
like
tell you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
go off.
it's
Yeah.
easier. Um, is it more exciting? Maybe, bro. I feel like because all right, this may be a bad example. Y'all know what slam ball is?
Come
Yeah.
on
Slam
now.
ball
I
facts.
had an opportunity to play slam ball. No
Listen, hear
cap.
me
The
out.
real
Hear me
Coach
out.
Carter came to the West End when I was working there, and I got receipts. I'm not even bullshitting because I had a homeboy. We was finna do it. He came and stayed at the hotel with us, and he was like, "Man, you look athletic." Woo, 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 woo. And I thought he was playing. They was like, "That's the real Coach Carter. You don't know who that is?" And they were saying like you can make like anywhere from 5,000 to 9,000 a week on straight slam ball, but the injury, no. I was like,
But you play
that's too
football.
much of a health risk. But I almost did that, y'all. I'd have been out there. Come on now.
But
But
what I'm saying, what I bring up slam ball, can one argue that slam ball is more exciting in its idea, right, than
mhm.
the NBA? Like they hopping on trampolines, dunking
Over
on
the rim.
people, over the rim, they're flying around. Is that more exciting? Would it be more exciting for to watch? Maybe.
That's actually very interesting.
I disagree. I disagree. You got to think about it though.
I
The
think
reason
that's
why
interesting.
I think it's a bad comparison slam ball to the NBA because if you think about it, slam ball that's a lot of people doing crazy high flying acrobatic dunks. It's
Yes.
only as exciting to see to a certain extent because okay, you know they have the trampoline element making that dunk possible.
Right.
In the NBA, you have real Ja Morant, you have
100%.
real Anthony Edwards, you have real people
Exactly.
jumping out the gym, Vince Carter, Zach
Yes.
Hmm.
LaVine's going
Yes.
crazy dunk crazy. So
Right.
I think, and then you even have the
Who might dunk 5 times a game? Maybe.
right,
Maybe
you have the
5.
Nate Robinsons too that make that dunk look unrealistic at his height.
Right.
So
And
But
then,
look, him.
oh, go ahead. I got a good
No,
point. Go
no.
ahead, Lee.
My other point is there's more I need to say about that. My last point, and like I don't want to. Anyway, are we just doing this in the WNBA? Like, are we building separate courts for like little girls when they go to hoop, like
Mm.
hoop on 9 foot rims?
okay, yes,
You
think
because you have
about
to
it.
change the
Think
history of
about
the
it.
game,
No,
not the
no. I'm
history,
glad
the
this is
future.
right in
It's a
line
good
with
Come
the
on,
point.
talk to
argument.
me. Talk to
This
me.
is right in line with the argument because I even don't take just the words from me. Even NBA players have spoken on this. Yes, because think about it. You already made the basketball smaller. You already making people shoot at the female shoot at a closer 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? So why not, if you're going to adjust all other components of the game, why is bringing down the rim that big of a deal?
Those things are also different except the basketball size. At high school, your 3-point line is much closer than in college. In college, your 3-point line is much closer than in the NBA. So, like, the idea of, like, things being different for, like, that in particular, I don't think excuses the idea of, like, or Malik, justifies the...
Why is that, though? Why is it closer? There's a simple answer for that.
Strength.
Exactly. Naturally, at a younger age, you're not as strong. Women are not as athletically inclined as males. So if you think about it, us lowering the rim is not us again. People think lowering the rim means we're trying to degrade them or take away their skills and ability. No, we're trying to increase and enhance more skills and ability they're not able to obtain.
You're trying to make it more interesting for you to watch.
It's a consumer sport. That's what you fail to realize. We are the reason. We are the one. Okay, think about it. What is the WNBA with no fans?
But this is what I'm gonna say, right? So we're talking about it's a consumer sport. You don't really watch the WNBA for real.
Come on, I was about to say
right
it too.
It's not just me though.
But this is what I'm saying though. But this is what I'm saying. And if we look at the actual WNBA and we look at these past, they just signed a $2.2 billion deal with Disney.
Let's not talk money.
But I'm just saying, they just signed a $2.2 billion deal based off of the change that they had. So people are watching it now and they're not dunking.
Okay.
And I think even from my perspective, wait, let me say this. My perspective too, even my perspective without the dunking, right? I had a similar perspective where I was like, okay, like this is maybe, and we talk about this all the time when we talk about WNBA. My first initial reaction, I don't watch it. I don't know if it's as interesting. I don't think it's as good. But then I actually watched it. That was just my perspective thing. Oh, yeah, it's women. They're not as fast. They're not dunking. They're not doing this. Then when I actually watched the game, like this is interesting. They're shooting. They're doing a lot of very amazing. It's the own product in itself is amazing in itself, and people are watching it now. So that's a big adjustment for the game.
Yes, people are watching it now, but you got to think about it, that's a small portion of the population who's actually wanting to watch, or just that say they don't watch. And the reason why you bring up money, and again, I didn't want to be this guy, but I'm not the only person. There's a lot of people who are in the NBA, sports analytics, people who talk about that money conversation in a whole. Although the WNBA has just signed, WNBA has just signed a contract for X, Y, and Z. They saying they're not grossing any profit off the league.
Bro,
that's what they're saying. I'm not the one saying that.
No, listen.
That's
a whole different thing, though. That's what
statistics show. And think about it. Where does your main profit come from? Your consumer. And I'm not saying everybody's desiring to see women dunk, but there's been a lot of people.
Bro.
And you just said they didn't profit though.
Huh?
You just said they didn't profit. They just got that $2.2 billion deal, and it doesn't go active until July 26th. July 2026.
I want you to do your own research. Conduct your own research.
No.
Is the WNBA
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Profitable?
No, and after you search that, whoever's doing that, search is Amazon profitable.
Is who?
Is Amazon profitable? The idea of like, bro, what startup? Then search what startups are profitable. What is profitable?
That's a great point.
The NBA
now we're talking business.
The NBA went through all of the 70s, 80s.
But the NBA is profitable. The NFL's profitable.
Now they are. These things are investments.
And why is that though? Because and to your point, the NBA is losing a lot of.
It's not because they can't dunk. It's not because they can't.
That's the point. Yeah.
It's not because they can't dunk. People ain't like, dunk, bro, if they could dunk, I'll be out there.
See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all being narrow-minded by it. Nobody's saying the WNBA is not profitable because they can't dunk. We are saying including another element would boost the opportunity for them to continue to grow and incline. Over the year, in order for the league to get better, they have to make. How do you continue to improve when you're not willing to be open for opportunity?
What if I say they've seen amazing improvement and haven't done any of that?
Okay, and the same argument can be made. What if somebody could show them, look, okay, I'm going to ask you this, and this is the reason why I don't think they'll do it. I don't think it has anything to do with statistics or anything. I think it's an emotional essence as to why they will not lower the rim.
Sure.
The reason why
let's talk about the emotion.
If we took a poll or a survey,
yes,
and we'll just say the U.S. since it's a U.S. sport. It's very big. I'm not even gonna say that. It's very
Right.
big nationally, but we will just reflect on the U.S. If
Let's
we
say
do a
that.
poll in the U.S., I guarantee you that poll shows that more people would be more interested. Not saying they would not watch. They would be more interested in seeing the competitive nature increase by watching women dunk on each other. I promise you.
Bro, okay, how many WNBA players be like, you know what? That's a great idea.
And I think that's a hilarious point though, because the people that are actually playing the game don't want that.
Like,
So I'm
Exactly.
saying that. So
But
that
again,
that's a hilarious
that's
point.
what I'm
listen,
saying. Okay,
and I
okay.
put myself
Again, to your point,
bro,
is sports not for the consumer? Any form
sure,
of entertainment
maybe.
is it not for
No,
the consumer?
I would even argue no.
So
Maybe
you're gonna
I
argue
would.
it's not for the consumer, and I'm gonna trump your argument by saying if it was not for the consumer, why does money matter? How much you're getting paid? Because you make money based upon us watching. So if it's not for the consumer, why does it matter how much you get paid? Why does it matter about viewership and
The
TV and
Olympics,
sponsorship? If it does not matter about if the consumers don't matter to the
the
sports
business
world,
side of it, the consumer is the most important thing in the sport. The Olympics is full of sports. The Olympics is for sports with people who don't have viewers. Ain't nobody's watching archery on any given Wednesday.
that's exactly my point though. But does the
But
Olympics
the
carries
sport is
archery the
still
same
for,
way the NBA has continued? That's the reason why they're saying the WNBA
bro.
is here because
Listen,
the NBA is basically making sure that they reach X, Y, and Z. If it was the NBA donates millions of dollars to the WNBA annually for them to continue
sure,
to be a sport.
sure,
And again, I get
and
y'all think
Mhm.
I'm just talking out my ass, but this is stuff that
No, I'm just trying
you
to
can search.
understand.
I swear to
I'm just trying
God,
to
like
understand it. And I understand.
I'm
So
just
what do you
arguing the point that's already been argued.
no, I'm
what
trying to understand what you're saying, like the points that you're coming from, because that's what's not making sense to me. Just
Okay,
like
what's not making sense? So
so
maybe
the
I'm just
main
doing
I'm
a lot of
confused.
talking. That's
I'm
what's up.
confused.
yeah. The point that I'm saying, because you're just talking about like the WNBA and the NBA. The NBA is donating money to them. So we just talked. If we're talking money, we're talking business. We talked about the profitability and everything. Like this is just more recently, like in the past few years, where they're getting a lot of eyes and they're that whole transition. But that transition had nothing to do
So
with anything that they're doing athletically.
okay, so can I say something?
Yes.
I never once in my statement in the beginning brought up financial progression or anything like that. I just said I think the WNBA rim should be lower
Mhm.
based upon entertainment elements. It had nothing to do with financially. We got into an argument about financials because
Mhm.
y'all are saying that it would not increase. Right now, if the WNBA does not dunk, they still have great interest in the league. The league is still growing. If the
Mhm.
WNBA players, all I'm saying is they started dunking, that interest could potentially increase. That's all I was getting at, or whatever. And then if your interest increase with more viewership, it's going to bring more. So again, whereas I'm not saying that they're not making good money and they're not on course to still doing great things in the league,
Which they are, yeah.
I'm not going to negate the fact that adding additional exciting elements to their
Yeah.
Like,
game
Yeah, and it's
brings more
funny. It's
viewers.
funny because have you seen the new Happy Gilmore just came out? I don't know. Have you guys seen
I ain't
it?
watched it yet. I gotta see
I
it.
know.
Don't ruin it for me.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but this is what I'll say. Basically, it's like golf. They're playing golf, and a new league is coming in. Right? I'm not even gonna. I'm not. I don't want to. Actually, I'm gonna spoil it. It's not gonna
Don't
really a
spoil it.
spoil.
Hold up,
Okay,
bro.
I'm not gonna
Right,
spoil. I'm
right.
not gonna spoil it.
What's
Look, I'm
wrong
not.
with a league?
So look,
Damn,
this
we
is
want
like
to
saying if you have a sport, right?
He's about to
And
spoil it.
no,
He's
I'm not.
about
I'm
to
not gonna
spoil
spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. This
it.
is
He's like,
like
let's say,
okay, this is swimming. Let's say swimming. You're
Okay.
doing a lap down and back. This is like saying, okay, if I add, I'm gonna make this is cool, like this is entertaining, but okay, let's light the pool on fire. I'm gonna light the pool on fire and have y'all do that because that's gonna be more entertaining. Like more people are gonna watch that. I think that's really cool, and that'll boost the numbers. Like something that
That does
really
not make
won't
sense.
have anything. No, listen to what I'm saying. You're just trying to what you're trying to change. Like you're saying, yes, it could make it more interesting and could bring more eyes to it, but you're doing that and making it more interesting for something that is not is messing. It's doing more
Nobody
damage than
said.
it is for
Okay, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna counter your argument with the same
counter
exact thing.
counter.
Every other sport,
Uh-huh.
women's base, has some type of physicality disadvantage. And I'll use volleyball for an example.
Yeah,
In males
the
volleyball versus
Nets.
women's volleyball, the nets are lower, are they not?
Uh-huh.
Why is that?
Yeah, I don't because they could jump. The males could jump higher.
Males
Make
are
it.
naturally
Yep.
more athletic. So again,
Uh-huh.
y'all want, and again, the only way this conversation wins is if you're trying to tell us that you don't want the WNBA to be in comparison with the NBA. And if
No,
that's
Hold
the
up.
all
case,
I'm saying,
fine,
all
go
I'm
cool.
saying is that
So
this
can you hear
lowering
me?
the rims is a lot.
Only because I
Like
can't hear
that's a
Phaz, so my bad,
huge
dog.
The
change.
hell like we
My bad.
said.
I'm just saying, people saying lower the rims, and I understand lowering the rims, maybe be dunking, and that would be more entertaining. So if that's your point, okay, yeah, maybe it would be more entertaining, maybe it wouldn't. But all I'm saying is that for that to really happen, that is a lot to happen. And I don't think people are understanding the other side of it. Like there's a lot to change. There's a lot negative. There's a lot on that side that's going to have to change in order for you to do something that doesn't really make a difference.
Think about it. I hate to just keep jumping there, Nick. I know you. I'm gonna let you.
No,
Get
no,
to
I'm
it.
listening. I'm listening, dog.
NBA. NBA had to go through a lot of great changes in order for them to be a
And my
great
bad,
league.
because I'm gonna forget this point. The women, like women can dunk now, and I think in years to come, like women only getting better. We're only evolving as players
That
and
is true.
athletes.
People are
So I
arguing that
think,
as well. I'm not taking
like, you know
that.
what I
You're
mean. So
right.
that's
With
a
the
point
right
too. It's like
training,
I
technique,
don't
and
think
elements,
so.
women can
Like,
develop into that. But at the same time, okay, look, women would have to surpass men athletically in order for that to happen. And the reason why I say that is because
they have to
women are naturally
surpass men
shorter
to
than
what?
men too. Women are naturally shorter than men too. So in order for them to dunk at the same height that we're dunking at, their verticals will have to surpass ours tremendously because you have a lot more shorter people dunking on the same height. But back to my point. NBA had to go through a lot of great changes in order to be the league that they are today. The NBA once didn't have a 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
Now the NBA has a 3-point line, and the game has become that much more exciting. I honestly can say with no
The
3-point
3-point line
line,
is a great idea.
with no 3-point line, there, if we're talking WNBA with no 3-point line in the NBA not in the WNBA not following suit from the NBA from the rules and regulations whatever it may be, because again they adopted the concepts of the game because the NBA was around first. With no 3-point line, the WNBA doesn't even have an argument like that. We like seeing Caitlin Clark hit the threes and Logo Dame and all the other great players because the 3-point is that's their game. Cook a motherfucker, hit a three, cook a motherfucker, get to the basket, layup. Simple basketball, great fundamental basketball, whatever. But tell me, would you watch an NBA game where nobody dunks
Yes.
and
I
still
would.
say it's as exciting as watching somebody get balls on their head?
I'm not saying I would still watch it if they
And
didn't
so
dunk, though.
thank you. You would still be interested, but you would be more interested seeing the NBA dunk. Now, again, maybe y'all don't want to see. Maybe you're just one of the ones who would care less about seeing a woman dunk. But you just proved my point. We are interested in the WNBA. We love watching WNBA. We're not taking that away from them. Great basketball players can shoot. But it would be more interesting to watch them dunk on somebody. That's all. That's the argument. That's the
Yeah, and
conversation.
I didn't say what wouldn't be more interesting. I said my point on that is like I'm not saying it wouldn't be more interesting, like to see Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark go up there head to head, whatever. Yeah, like maybe it would. You know what I mean? But I think the game for them to take away and try to change the game to make it adjust to what the males are doing on their side, because you're saying, okay, we want to make this. Why do you want to make it more interesting? Like
Okay.
what
Random
that's what
counter. Random
yeah,
counter. Why make
yeah.
the basketball smaller?
Their hands are smaller.
Okay. They can't jump as high as men. What are we arguing right
But
now?
they've
Who,
been this is how the
bro?
rims have
Who
been like that though forever.
Okay, and my
can
thing is, and you've watched women
can all
Go
men
ahead.
dunk?
go to pick up and hoop with men and never ask, can we play with the girls' ball?
Can all
No,
men dunk?
they shoot and hoop with the males' ball.
That's
So
that's a good yeah.
what are we talking about?
Can all men dunk?
It's majority of the league.
Okay, the league is a
I mean,
different.
not the majority, but majority of men in the. There's a more majority that can dunk in the NBA that can dunk in the WNBA at the same height of rims.
Let's say it again.
There, okay, I'll use better words. There are a higher percentage of men in the NBA that
Yes.
can dunk on 10-foot rims
Right.
than there are women in the WNBA that can dunk on 10-foot rims.
Oh, without a doubt.
There are just as many women that shoot the equal a percentage of men when it comes to 3-pointers with a closer 3-point line.
Okay.
There are equal amount of women who shoot just as close to men with a smaller basketball. So
All right.
the argument there is basically You're adjusting certain portions of the game. And again, don't even take it from me. Can we get the clip? I think this is a good time to. Can we get
Well, no,
Swaggy P's take
I
on
want to
it?
continue. I want to continue first because no,
Go ahead.
I think you were saying a good point. Finish your point.
Ultimately, what I'm saying is, as equal as women are in shooting, as equal as women are in ball handling and ball control, that all comes attributed to the ball being smaller and the three-point line being closer. We don't see a wide margin or gap in women's game when it comes to shooting versus men's. Women's game when in handling versus men, because granted, we a little bit more creative with the basketball, but you don't see a significant difference in numbers when it comes to the field goal percentage and shooting elements. However, and then to this point as well, I'm gonna use her as an example. I'm not saying she can't make layups, but Angel Reese, to that point, phenomenal basketball player in the paint. Her field goal percentage inside the perimeter would be higher on the shorter rim, making her more equivalent to a male basketball player.
Bro,
making
I have
the
so
game
many
more equivalent.
We
fight for equality, are we not?
I disagree. Well, that is an equality in my mind.
So switch the basketballs back and push the 3-point line back, and then don't change the hoops.
Maybe, and we can get into that conversation too. Maybe, who knows? Is it more exciting? So your points are: it's more exciting.
I didn't say anything about money, but yes, money more exciting.
Your points are: it's more exciting.
It's like, hold on.
And what else? And what else?
It was just
and it makes sense. And it makes sense because of the physical differences. So to be closer to NBA basketball if the goals were lower, which is the goal. The goal for the WNBA is to be closer to the NBA. Okay, I don't think I agree with that point. But so my thing is with the. Okay, can you answer my question? Do any woman in the WNBA, has anyone come out of it and was like, you know what, that's a good idea?
No.
Have you? I'll be curious as to what do more women basketball players think. I'm thinking about like a lot of different things. Like when I was in 8th grade, let's say, I couldn't dunk. And I'm sure for people, dunk. Maybe we can go see. I promise you. And maybe it might have been more entertaining. And sometimes there were people who wanted to play on like 8-foot rims because they wanted to dunk. However, I found no interest in that. I wanted to hoop on the 10-foot goal because like to me that's basketball, 10-foot goal. Maybe it's an emotional thing, maybe it's an ego thing. If soccer, I think like I can't think of many. The volleyball example was close with the higher lower rim. I'm still not letting it pass. I don't think it makes sense. I think it's like, yeah, they're able to dunk, but I just don't see what that fixes. I don't see like who is it for. The fans. If you're trying to if the goal is to have the WNBA be as profitable or make as much money as the NBA, I don't.
That would not fix the issue.
No.
And I know he's not saying that's not the one thing to fix the issue. You're saying that it'd be that coupled with
You're just saying
things.
It's interesting.
Yeah, and again, we're not saying lowering the rim is going to be. If you lower the rim, you'll be great.
Your whole thing is you're just saying it's more interesting.
Yeah, that's what more people. My thing is, we're saying that's a start in the right direction. Even Shaq was saying that.
I don't care what Shaq said.
You're saying it makes it
all-star
about this. I'm saying,
but like, okay. So
I think Angel Reese's word, and it's probably like it's easy to just argue something because if someone throws the other point. So like, who knows her real feelings? I think her word, in my mind, weighs heavier than whatever Shaq thinks.
Okay, so can I ask you? You play football, right? What sport did you play? What's your sport of choice?
Football. Just lower a little bit. I'm not saying lower it to 9-5.
Just so we can dunk?
Yes.
No.
See. And
I hate when men say that.
But listen, that's the only difference.
We start dunking and what?
Watch. We got shooters. Y'all got shooters. Oh, guys got some handles.
This is crazy.
Girls got some handles. The only thing that's missing is the dunk.
I don't feel like it still would change.
I'm telling you.
I don't think
what?
so.
But again, okay. Do you see everything? And again, I'm not trying to be sexist at all with this next statement, so I'm gonna be careful what I say. But do you see everything, and this is going to second what you just said too, Malik. Everything that she said was feeling.
Okay.
I don't feel this. I don't feel that. And again, thinking with emotions, respectfully,
Is that
a
what she
corporation.
said?
Yeah, see, I don't think that's all feelings and emotions. Now, again,
Well, let's get into that. We about to hop
okay,
into this.
this is a business. We're talking about business, corporation, money, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
If these leagues, and again, I asked what sport you play for a reason. When you think about your sport, in the sport we play, football, we'll get off basketball for a second, football. We've witnessed a lot of changes in the game of football when it comes to the contact. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Certain things. So we've watched a lot of games. A lot of people who played the sport were not for these changes. We didn't want that shit to happen, but it was a must for the safety of the players and for the business decision of the league. So you got to think about it, and for the viewership of the game. So if you think about a lot of, and again, I just use contact as an example, but there's a lot more different rules, so on and so forth. There's a lot of people who feel that the tush push should be banned. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of players that don't like that. So if we're being real, we can talk about players' emotions and players' feelings all day long, but it is a business first, and it is a business of entertainment for the consumer first. There's a lot of things the consumer might not necessarily want that the league adapts and changes to. So it's a win-lose on either side. Players are gonna get things that they want, fans are gonna get things that they want. Players not gonna get things they want, fans not gonna get things that they want. If changing the hoop or raising the level of the hoop makes it that much of a difference, because you're asking us why, but I've never heard a WNBA player answer without emotional feeling why they don't want it lowered. Every time I don't.
She just said because it won't change anything. You saying that the problem is people don't want to.
How will it not? It's only one thing to change. You're saying it won't change anything. It would change the fact that they would have an increased ability to properly dunk the ball. It will change something.
Is the problem with the WNBA that people can't dunk? Is that the issue?
Y'all keep saying is the problem with the problem with the WNBA is that they're not profitable. That's the ultimate problem.
Maybe that's debatable. That's debatable. That
is a great league.
But the reason behind that is not that they're dunking the ball.
Exactly. Nobody's saying lowering the rims would make them more profitable.
So why are we?
But you just brought that up though. You just said about it being confident.
Because y'all already agree with me. Because we can contradict ourselves all day long, but y'all already agree with me that if we were to lower the rims, it would be more interesting. And if it's more interesting, it would have more viewership. And if it's
I don't think so. I don't think more profit. I don't think just because they can dunk, people are going to watch. Just because it's more.
How is it not? Because think about it. Can you imagine the competitive nature that increases in not only the females on the court, but think about it. Would you not pay money? We already pay money to see the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. But I guarantee you, if Angel Reese came down the lane with bad intentions and tried to dunk on Caitlin Clark, that would fucking. Can you imagine that in the headlines, the viral moments, the caption? Do you know how much clicks that is? How many clips that would trend just off of that one moment? Even if she don't make the dunk. It's the fact that she's never going to even attempt because she knows it is outside of her athletic ability and reach to even attempt to dunk. So she would never do that. And we sick of seeing, I'm not saying we sick of seeing, but it's not as exciting to see a turn layup, a back down turn layup.
To who? It's not as exciting to you?
To you keep trying to, again, I get y'all trying to single me out because it's just me on this podcast. I challenge us to have this conversation.
But you just said that.
Let's do. I would love to watch us all do public interviews and ask the question.
Bro, I would love to.
I guarantee you,
I would love to.
I put money on this conversation.
And I guarantee you how many, never mind. We shouldn't get into there. But like people will have opinions. People will have opinions about this and have watched maybe 3 WNBA games in their entire life and have a very strong opinion that, bro.
And why is that though? You're proving my point with your argument.
Listen, you're saying that, and I'm telling you, you're lying to yourself.
Behind it is because they're not dunking.
So
I'm telling you,
you just said there's people who only watch 3 WNBA games. There's people who only watch 3 WNBA games, and what is their reason? Ask them what their reason behind why they've only watched 3 WNBA games, and they're going to tell you because they want to see people dunk.
Okay, if they say that, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that's been the one thing holding you out. I guess
And
you don't
again,
watch.
respectfully enough, none of us on this
But
podcast watch the
where did the
WNBA enough
influx
to
come
argue the other
from?
point.
But it's
So
Where
like
did the influx come from though? Like we're talking about, like what you're just saying, like that's what's not connecting to me because you're saying, okay, it's not about the consumer. Like you're talking about interesting, then you're going to consume, and then you're saying the people that watch it. But where did this influx of people just come from then?
you act like this conversation started today.
Why did people just start watching the WNBA then?
and why are these
Why
the
did it
same people
change?
being like, oh,
Because
they should be
of
able
the
to dunk?
rivalry, because of the hype, you say people just started watching the WNBA players already being skilled. The WNBA players have already all been skilled. Respectfully enough, Caitlin Clark isn't doing that much outside of the norm and narrative of what the other WNBA players were doing, but it's the storyline. Everybody loves a good story. Everybody loves a good rivalry. We watched Fraser Ali. We watched the George Foreman Ali, the Rumble in Jungle. Everybody loves a good storyline. That's boxing. It proves that. Boxing
I think these
proves
were
that
talents, bro.
exactly. You said what?
Ali's a talent. Caitlin Clark is the leading scorer in college women's hoop. So like she scored more than anybody. So like to say that she's doing what everyone else was doing. Ali was not fighting like everybody. What's up?
What is Caitlin Clark doing that anybody in the WNBA right now can't do? She's doing it to a higher number. Don't get me wrong,
bro.
But what is she doing?
That's the
different
thing. They're
than what
all
people are
playing
doing?
basketball. It's about the number. It's about what she's doing.
Bro, I like.
Yeah, I think the main thing is because like the interesting part, like I understand like how to some people they're saying it may be interesting, but I think my main thing is that my view completely changed. And the view that I had when I like, okay, why haven't I watched the NBA before? The WNBA before the W.
Yeah.
Then I go back and now I'm super interested in it now. And maybe it was the rivalry. It was Caitlin Clark and it was all that. But I just came to watch the game. Like I watching them play. And the same ideals that I had before was like, okay, maybe it's not as when I actually watched the game, this is a great game to watch. You know what I mean? I think a lot of it is like I don't know what you call it, like pre-notioned or like whatever the preconceived notions that people have on what WNBA is. Yeah, because they are women.
Now we get into it. I think like I agree. The sport is different. Like it's, and I don't want to continue too much without them. But yeah, I think the sport is different. Like watching men hoop or NBA hoop and then watching WNBA is like the motions are different. The technique is different. They're playing the same sport. And like I just don't watch it thinking like, oh, I don't think that'll be the draw. Like people are gonna be like, oh, I want to watch. I'm gonna go watch.
Then the next thing gonna be like, yeah, they're not doing windmills. They're not doing 360s. The NBA is doing that, but let's lower it some more so they can do that. Or it's like, you know what I mean?
Because then my question is, then should the goals be? No, you fine.
Amazon disrespectful as hell today because drop the packages off and keep it pushing. But I kind of hear what y'all talking about. I will say this though to counter off the WNBA to the NBA. The consumer does, and maybe I'm about to contradict my entire argument. So for those who've been on my side, I do apologize, but I'm gonna say it. The consumer doesn't know what they want, respectfully or not. And the reason why I say that, we watch the NBA now, and to y'all point, you're right. It's not about dunking, because we are now to a point where we're not easily impressed. And there's people in the NBA dunking. We've seen the 360s. We've seen the between the legs. It's so hard to impress an NBA consumer. The NBA is even trying to figure out what's new to do to keep the viewership there. So to your point, yes, dunking is not going to be the end-all, be-all solution. However, we've been watching for decades people dunk and go crazy. We have not really seen no real posters in the WNBA. So will that be a new exciting element for WNBA? Yes, I do think it will. However, to y'all's point, is that going to change the problem with the WNBA? No, I don't think it will. But it's a start. And that is just the argument that I'm pushing.
And I guess and then to that point, it's like kind of like we were saying, or even like Angel was saying, right? It's like interesting to who? And then it's like who are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like Shaq, you wanna go see them dunk. You want to like the people that are talking about it. They're like it's about the. There's people that are watching the game for what it is. Like the WNBA and the NBA, although they're both playing basketball, the
Good point.
W is the W. The NBA is the NBA.
Yeah,
They are
bro.
all their own things. You know what I
Good
mean?
point.
And all that they might be dunking, there's other things that they're doing. And what I was saying when you were gone is that I think there's a lot of preconceived notions. The people that are would say they're dunking are the people that only watched a couple games or didn't really watch it for
Right.
real and had the idea that I had when I started watching WNBA. I'm like, "Oh, I didn't really watch it because it might not be as good or
I
interesting
just
or
say
as
one thing
fast.
to
Or
that.
let me finish this. They might not be moving as fast and might be dunking whatever. But then when I actually took the time and I watched the game, and then like you said, the storylines that brought me there, the Caitlin
Because that's
Clark, the
just,
Angel
bro.
Reese,
Did
and
that matter?
everything, that was got me engaged. And I haven't even like I haven't watched a game and been like, they're like, I wish if they were dunking, this would have been better. No, it's like I came for the storylines, like
Mhm.
everything. And I start when you start watching, I realized, okay, this is actually interesting. So people out there are saying they're not actually watching.
Okay.
Anyway.
And I love, and again, I'm not even going to count. This is not it's just not a counter. This is an addition to what you're saying.
Mhm.
I 100% agree with what you're saying. The people who watch the WNBA are there for what the WNBA is for now. But again, in the progression to growing a league, you got to be willing to take some risks. You have to be willing to step outside of the comfort zone, the narrative, and expand the box. So to that point, you're right. Those who watching WNBA now, and again, I am a fan of the WNBA now. To your point, no, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not just somebody saying this who never really seen a WNBA game. This year has been a complete 360 of WNBA entertainment for me.
Mhm.
Am I on the other argument of yes, it would be more exciting if they were dunking? Hell yeah. However, I could, to y'all point, I could still watch whether they start dunking or not. I would still watch the WNBA because of the entertainment factors that they have now developed within this year. However, to the addition statement, in the insight to grow the league, in the insight to increase and expand the parameters, we can continue the slow progression. I'm not saying allowing them to dunk will increase the progression, but at the steady pace in which they're going on, we know what to expect for the years to come. And to your point, is if the women keep working, there will be more women to come along and dunk, and that era is coming. However, if we were to change the narrative now, and again, let's test run it, let's test trial it. Every good experiment or whatever, it has test trial. I feel like if y'all don't agree, test it. You don't have to test it in WNBA, but I don't know what other league is comparable. I don't think the Euro League is going to do it, but I would like to see it because we can easily say to an argument of we don't think it's going to change much for something that we have not seen. All of it's a what if. But if you
Sure.
did see it and you were able to consistently see it, then we'd be able to put the argument there to say, okay, yes, the league is more exciting with dunking. No, it didn't really do that much more, so it's always going to be a gray area for the argument on either side because you can argue, oh, the fans who are watching now love the game just the way it is. Then you can argue the fans who are not watching the game, who would watch the game if they were dunking, if they start dunking, I'll come see the game. It's for example, it's like that with anything. We can talk politics. We can talk sing whatever the case, whatever other entertainment element.
Mhm.
If you make an adjustment in what you're already seeing, it intrigues a broader audience that have never been there before. Other people may, and again, to your point, some people may even drop off because they're dunking. Like, the game is now it's getting away from what the true element of the WNBA. See, there might be people like that, but that's why I said earlier, the consumers don't really know what they want because it's a biased, unbiased argument in lane. You can argue this all day long, your perspective, and I can argue all day long my perspective. But if there is no change, if we never see it for another way, it's just going to be an argument. So to push
And
the
what were you gonna say,
conversation,
Leak? Because I know you had a point.
Wait. Well, my point really hasn't changed. Because like I see that kinda, or the idea of like, what if anything? It reminds me of like my girlfriend, like Trump has this what if anything. Anyway, But yeah, what if anything like
How we
what
quoting
if
the white man on this? I'm playing.
yeah, exactly. Like what if we Florida goes, they have their first Michael Jordan and then everything changes and now the WNBA is the best sport in the world. Maybe. I don't I could be short-sighted. I don't see the value. I don't see like the draw to or I guess the problem
I
is
love where we at. I love where
the
we at.
problem is I see many problems and I just will not start there. I think
sure.
like if I'm in like
I love
Well, let him finish though, because I want to hear what he said though. I want to hear what he said though.
I'm gonna challenge that quick because I want to hear that from him. If he doesn't like to start, my question for him would be, where would you start at?
Let's do it.
Before you even get to that, before you get to that, what I will say, and this is my last statement on it, so that way I don't interrupt no more. But what I will say is this: y'all we have all done the same thing within this debate, and I think even people in the world are doing the same thing within the same debate. We all are arguing what we want to see and what we don't want to see. Y'all argue why y'all don't want to see it. We argue why we do want to see it. Again, like I said a second ago, I think both sides have to be open to the possibility of both. If the league never changing and the league potentially changing. Because whereas we're saying it, it's not off the table. It's not like the league hasn't visited this conversation themselves.
Sure. So and what I will also say is I'm not saying that I don't want to see it. Sure, I'll be down to watch it. In the WNBA, I pray and I hope not. Like, so the example I'll use is like baseball players on steroids. I would love to see a steroids only league. Sure, they want to juice, they want to see like who can throw the ball 200 miles per hour, and then those home runs. I would love to. Yeah, sure. I may watch the YouTube clips. I would never go watch that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like I would never just be like, okay, that's what I want to like entertain myself with. I'd rather go watch the regular people do it every once in a while.
You wouldn't know that though until you've seen it though. That's what I'm saying. We can say all day long, I don't want to see that, I don't want to see that, but you haven't seen it yet. And we have seen for years,
I've seen
years
movies,
in the past,
like,
the WNBA hooping, shooting threes, making layups, X, Y, and Z. So we have seen that for the decades that the WNBA have been around. So you can say you don't want to see it, but we can say what we've already seen. And you
can say you don't want, but again, you can say you don't want to see that. You can say I don't want to see women hoop on a 10-foot goal and feel okay about yourself.
Who's saying that though? That's what I'm saying. You're even with the conversation we've been trying to argue this like it's an equal conversation, but
if they're saying I'm not watching it because
more pros for y'all for the league to stay the way it is because it's already that way.
Easy. Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like we're not saying we don't enjoy what we're seeing. That's what I keep saying. We're not saying we don't enjoy three-point specialist Caitlin Clark. We're not saying we don't enjoy that. We're not saying we don't enjoy 100 rebounds a game, Angel Reese.
No, but I think the people that is kind of what you guys are saying.
We're not
like the people that are saying the people that you're talking about that are not watching it.
That's like saying
I
don't like that. You're saying the people that are not watching the game, they would be more keen to watch it if they were dunking. That's exactly what you said. Make it more interesting. That's exactly what you said.
Again, is Shaquille O'Neal not a fan of the WNBA?
I don't know, Shaq.
Look, now I'm going to act delusional. See, and that's what I'm saying. We can do this all day long. Y'all know Shaquille O'Neal is pro Angel Reese. Shaquille O'Neal he's more of a WNBA fan than we are, and he said he would want to see that. So that's what I'm saying. It's not just the fans who are not watching. There's a lot of fans that are watching that will want to see somebody get dunked on. So that's what I'm saying. But again,
that's what you said as a fan than me.
Yeah.
You are not an NBA professional athlete. He has more credibility as a fan than us. What do you mean?
Bro, what?
And I'm sure and if we want to talk monies, I'm sure he's invested more into the WNBA than we have. So
absolutely. So also into car insurance. That don't mean that just because Shaq Mark is not freaking car.
What do you mean? That's like saying because you sound like a Toyota consumer right now.
Okay, we can get into it.
Consumer right now.
Tell me what they say.
So they claim loyalty all day long. What makes this guest better than me? loyalty always goes a longer way. Showing the actual credibility that you are more pro makes you that much of a more credible person. If you know more about the thing, that's like saying what makes Stephen A more credible than any of us as an analysis.
That's not what
but
I'm
that's
saying.
what he gets paid to do.
Shaq does not get paid to be a WNBA fan.
Shaq gets paid to be has he not been on ESPN and been a sports analyst? Provide analytics, he makes you that much more of a. And again, you talking about what makes him more of a credible
that makes
fan.
sense.
I guarantee you, and again, this is just me. We're throwing out undiscovered numbers that we have not researched, but I guarantee you, Shaq have watched more WNBA games than us, so he would be a more credible fan. So to that point, he's the one say. So again, yes, you can argue all day long what makes him, but the facts are there. But again, nevertheless, because I want to go back to that question.
But Shaq still watches it now. Right,
that's my point.
No, but what we're saying,
he watches it now, and even he says he wants to see it. That's what I'm saying. He watches it now. He enjoys the game now.
But your point, we're saying it'll make it more interesting to bring viewers. That's what I was saying. You said that. That's what I was going off the point.
That's what Shaq said.
You'll bring more. I'm saying what you said,
bro.
Exactly. Y'all want to argue what I said based off the basis of what? Because I'm Eman McNeil. I'm on a podcast, and y'all probably.
Bro, I'm just saying what you said.
Exactly.
Shaq said the same thing.
When I started this conversation, I said, these are not direct. This is something that I side with. These are certain beliefs I have in believe.
Yes.
But though I already said everything that this is all things that I've researched from other people who have said.
Does Shaq have more credibility than Angel Reese?
As a WNBA player, no. So as a player, no. As a basketball enthusiast, yes.
Hear me out. Okay, why? Because he played basketball longer?
He's played basketball longer. He's lived longer. He's watched the game change over many courses. He's experienced more basketball than Angel Reese has.
Okay.
And she'll tell you that.
Okay, bro. So because he's been alive longer and been playing basketball longer, he has more credibility than Angel Reese in terms of like what the WNBA should do. He's a more credible source.
What makes you wanna argue that? Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay.
What makes Angel Reese a credible WNBA player based upon the basis that you're arguing? She's only played in the league 2 years. 2 years.
She's been
playing. Not even a full 2.
That's 2 more than Shaq.
So
that's true.
But again, to that point, it may be more than Shaq. But I guarantee you, I guarantee
that's 2 more than all of us,
bro.
There are WNBA coaches, male coaches, because again, what are you gonna say? They're not credible because they're coaches.
Yeah,
but they coach in WNBA and they said that there are videos of that. So that's what I'm saying. Yes, we can argue. Oh, Shaq ain't played in WNBA, but are we not arguing that WNBA is trying to be as equal or catch up to the NBA? And wouldn't he be a star player
in what aspect? In what aspect?
I would argue.
So that's what I'm saying. We can do this all day. We can do this all day.
I agree.
Again, the question I would love to get back to, because y'all can rebuttal all day and I can rebuttal with the best of them, because I have a response the same way you're gonna have a response, and we're gonna be here for hours.
Absolutely. But first point.
Y'all saying, because y'all keep contradicting yourself with the.
No, I don't think you're never answering our questions. You say the same thing, but it's all right.
Is that because my thing is my what I've been saying? Y'all not listening. What I've been saying is
and you're speaking for Shaq, and you're not even having the same thing that he said. That's what I'm confused about.
The perspective and the narrative on everything does not change. So again, we'll flip the tables or whatever. Y'all say starting with lowering the rims. Lowering the rims is not the solution to the problem, and it's not a good start. Back to you, Malik. What is a good start? Where's the WNBA start aside from lowering the rims? Because if you have great ideas, they would love to hear it.
3 orange cones, layup drills, layup lines. I feel like, bro, they just need to get they're getting better skilled. They're becoming more skilled as the league progresses. And as women continue to hoop, they will only continue to get more and more better.
That's with everybody. And I guarantee you right now, there are going to be women in the WNBA. Since you say how many women in WNBA are arguing that they don't want them. There are women in WNBA right now that'll tell you that does not need improvement, that they are good. Or you're trying to say we suck? Because that would just sound like you're not excited with seeing them lay up the ball because they're doing it at a lower percentage.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying the problem is make the layup.
So why? And again, I'm going back to what you said earlier in the conversation.
Yes.
And this is from, and again, we can show a short clip because you did say this.
Let's talk about it. Please
You
revive.
talking about their layup percentage?
Yes.
I'm talking about lowering the goal.
Bro,
you very much said early in the conversation when you used to hoop and you used to lower the rim, you used to go off way more. That's what you said.
That's not just because when I lower the rim, it makes it easier. That's not what I'm saying needs to happen. I'm saying they just need to make the layup. The answer is not make it easier. The answer is get better. Okay. Is my opinion.
And that is the reason why y'all arguing. That why I know we're arguing the wrong position. You're thinking by lowering the rim that makes it easier, and I did just say that point. But we're not only arguing will it make it easier. Of course, it's gonna make it easier. We've already all agreed to a lower hoop. We go crazier.
Let me get my point to your question. My point to your question.
Yeah, go ahead, Phaz. How would you start? Where would you start?
So start where? You're saying just making the game more interesting or what?
Interesting, better, profitable, however you want to attack it. Where would you start?
I think the first thing that needs to happen with the WNBA, the W, right, is everything that they're doing now. I think we need to start in making sure that allocating the money correctly. I think the money that is coming in and then the money that is about to be accrued by the league needs to be allocated correctly. I think regardless of the gameplay, because I think if the gameplay stayed the same way, and it has, and we've seen a huge boost, and now we see the All-Star game, they're asking about pay us what we owe us because based off the W and the NBA, the NBA has 50% revenue share. The WNBA has 9% revenue share. Right, so they're only getting paid 9% of what the actual organization, the WNBA, is making. So I think that, like, regardless of the game and the most interesting, I think any issue we're talking about, you're talking about lower the rims, talking about this. Let's pay these players more. Let's put money into the marketing and let's continue to do what you're doing. And we're going to see the game grow in itself without having to do anything first. If you want to in the future, go ahead and update the rules. And anyway, because like you said, we don't control that. They can do that on their will. Okay, go ahead and do that. But I don't think that has anything to do as far as making the game in itself.
If your league is not profitable and your league,
but I don't think you understand because I don't think you heard what he said about the profitability earlier.
Yeah, you can answer this with it. You can answer this, and it'll answer your profitability statements, whatever it may be. If the league's not profitable and they're trying to make more money, how do you pay? For example, right now we're shooting a podcast for free. If I was like Phaz, in order to keep me as your co-host, you need to pay me. You need to pay me more. But I know we're not making any money. So how could I ask for an increase in my pay when we're not making nothing? So respectfully enough, I'm not, and again, I'm not in a good disagreement one way, shape or another, what they're getting paid more or not. I think they should be paid more.
But you made a point.
You
just made a point though. That's a great point.
I definitely think they should be paid more. I never disagree with that because at the end of the day, they are doing close to or as much as players in the NBA are doing, aside from dunking. They are in line with, you know what I'm saying, the NBA. The percentage of the game and scoring all that is less. Yes, we understand that. But like to your point, the excitement element is coming. It is coming there. Now again, what a lot of people and what my argument on this is,
I thought you asked me a question. What? Come on.
It's coming. It's coming. But
you asked it already
with your statement.
You asked it already. Let me answer it. They get what you
So what you're saying again, I'm very much pro pay them, but I'm very much in disagreement and pro pay them now. They are demanding to be paid now. We want more money now. This and the third, but it's like, okay, the same way this league is growing, to y'all's point, the same way it's growing and the same way it's progressing, it's going to take time to pay them what they deserve and we have to grow the league the same way y'all saying right now. We have to get the marketing there. You have to allocate the money the right way, like you're saying. We have to start using our platforms to draw more media attention there so we can, to your point, that's what I was going to say would be a good start. If let's not start with lowering the rims. I can do a start too. I think the marketing for the WNBA should continue to increase in a lot more ways like the NBA has. Yes, we have Gatorade. Yes, there's sponsorship and stuff like that. But we need more marketable things to help the ladies make their revenue and their money the way that they want to make it. And the only way to do that is to trust the process. It's a slow grind. The same way y'all saying and been arguing, the league is progressing and it's in the right direction. They gotta wait for it. So yes, you want to get paid. Pay them what they're owed and what they should be making. But give the league time to get there, ladies.
So what you're saying, I think two things on that. The problem, you're saying trust the process, right? And yeah, okay, trust the process. But that's kind of like, I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm talking like race and black people and all that, but there's an inequality there. So you're saying trust the process, and there's no like they're trying to fix the process. So it's not about trusting the process. They're trying to say what the process is not correct in itself.
Okay.
Right. And then the main thing that you're saying, the WNBA players, this is your argument is that, that we're not making enough money, we're not profitable. They're not asking for that. They're not asking for, hey, I know we're not making no money, but we want more. Give me more money. They're asking for a larger share of what they're getting, similar to what the NBA is. And they're not even asking, because like I said, the NBA is 50%. They're at 9%. They're not asking for 50% because they understand that. They're asking for a bigger slice of the pie based on the growth that they have now.
However,
and they're doing this because, let me finish.
You gotta slice it from somewhere.
No, but
however you want to slice the pie.
But this,
they just said, they just signed this deal with Disney.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna slice it if you ain't got the goddamn pie yet? Let the pie get here first, then slice it. So
that is what they're talking about, though. That's why that's why they wore those shirts, because you think they don't understand that there's CBA agreements, that there's things that have to. They understand that. Like, they're not saying, okay, stop everything right now, stop it, or they would not play. If that was the reason, they would stop the season, they would not play.
To add on to your statement, why I say it should be better marketing, because the narrative in which the people are pushing, these entertainment people, all this stuff, the narrative that they're pushing is they're asking for higher pay now. They want money. If they acting like we JG Wentworth, like the league is JG Wentworth. So to your point, yes, I'm not. That was a valid point, and I very much understand what you're saying now, and thank you for making that make sense to me. However, the way the narrative is being pushed, and you can
is that their fault? Is that their fault though? What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's how I know y'all not listening to me. Y'all just ready to.
I don't think you're listening.
Check me out.
I just said we need to market it better.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. So you to your point, that's not what they're saying. It's not their fault. That's what I'm saying. We need to do better. That's what I'm saying. So I'm very much in agreement with what you're saying.
So on the pay thing, right? And Phaz, I appreciate the point. So right now the NBA is making, let's say, $100 million.
Uh-huh.
They make way more than that. But right now the players are taking on $50 million, and the league is using $50 million.
Yes.
The WNBA is not let's say they're making $100 million.
Uh-huh.
The league is keeping 91 million, and the girls are taking home $9 million. Do you see the difference?
Yes, and why is that though, League? Answer your own question.
That's the structure. That's the structure of how they have it set up. But
why is that? Again, have y'all not been arguing that needs to change, and are we not pushing for the change, right? But why is that the narrative now? Y'all making it seem like the WNBA league they're just assholes, like they in a TLC conference.
But I can't argue that, because in every other industry, the argument is the exact same when you put women into the equation. Roll your eyes, talk about it, do whatever.
The argument's the exact same when you put black athletes into the equation. What are we talking about? We're all fighting the same battle. And yes, it was. It once was. In baseball, in football, and in basketball, black athletes got paid more. In the work field, black people got paid less.
Sure, exactly, bro.
But it took time for us to get that change to happen. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
y'all
sure.
Think I'm just saying it's not like
it takes time, sure. But this goes directly to Phaz's point. I won't get too academic. It takes time, sure. However, if I don't ask for it right now, it will never happen.
Right. Okay.
Because they're like, the idea that I need to sit on my hands and wait is crazy. If I'm Caitlin Clark, bro, I couldn't care less about waiting. I'm gonna wear my shirt, because I need it right now. I need my bread right now.
And you could do that. They will never give it to you. You don't say anything. You don't think they're going to be okay paying Caitlin Clark, one of the best people in the league, that bringing all this attention to the league, 75,000. Angel Reese, 75. They'll do that.
And so,
you know what I mean?
But also too, you got to think about it. Like I've been saying, this just got here. How many years before
this has not been here? You're talking about the new deal. We're talking about the revenue share, the 9%.
And I understand bills are higher in WNBA.
Yes.
Like the larger percent of the.
We just got to this point where they can even make that argument anyway, and y'all can't say we have it because y'all only started watching WNBA about a year. Niggas only started watching WNBA when Caitlin Clark got in the league.
You
too.
Bro,
name 4 to 5 WNBA players you followed their entire career. I want to hear stats, attributes, the same way you were about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Stephen Curry.
Maya Moore is getting close to her retirement. I remember when she entered into the league.
What's her stats? I need to know stats. Do
you know her stats?
Rank all time. I need to know this. If you're claiming to be that much of a fan, I want to know.
I could put you on. Game. You're going to have to change, like your posture. Going to have to be a little different to receive it. But
we debating.
But listen, no. What I'm saying is the WNBA has been around for a minute. The argument. Go listen to Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird talk about how long they've been fighting for equality or equal pay in the W.
That's what I'm saying. Inequality has always been there.
As a matter of fact, go watch Juwanna Mann. That'll put you on game.
No,
if you ain't never seen Juwanna Mann, if you watch
very much watch Juwanna Mann.
Okay, that's
that's my thing. Y'all that's what I'm saying. Y'all trying, but again, we riding, and again, it's not a negative, but we're riding on the backs of the new current WNBA stars that have brought the attention to the league, and then y'all trying to say.
But you're using it to discredit my watching.
With your arguments because y'all both are making some serious valid points. What I don't appreciate and what I don't like is y'all both are also acting delusional because y'all acting like y'all being fucking decade-long WNBA fans. I'm not having it.
What's the delusional part? Delusional on what?
The delusional part is, again, let's call a spade a spade. Y'all have not been. I'm not saying y'all argument is not valid. Everything is on point. But let's get off of the argument portion right now.
No. That's what this podcast is about, though.
Let's talk about it.
What is the part that you're saying, though? I asked the question.
So wait,
you're talking about delusional. Delusional about what? What is that point?
About how long I've been watching this?
I'm hearing what you're saying, and I'm agreeing with what you're saying. But y'all keep trying to trump my credibility as a friend, which I don't really give a fuck. Because I'll tell you right now, I just started watching the WNBA. But at the same time, what I'm saying is, you're acting like, I've been watching WNBA for 10, 5, X amount of years. I'm like,
all I said was inequality.
It's okay that you only started watching 2 years ago because you have a valid argument with only 2 years, 3 years of watching. But you're not going to sit here in front of me and tell me.
Go ahead, Lee. You want,
What? Because you just, and it is okay that you just started watching the WNBA 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not tripping on that.
Yes. Why is it not okay for me to say that I've been watching it longer for 2 years? I've been watching the WNBA for longer than 2 years.
If I was to tell you right now that, I'm not only talking about you.
This is crazy.
When I'm saying this, I'm not only talking about you because you're not the only person who said that, first and foremost. Secondly, or whatever, I'm not saying you, again, if you've been watching WNBA for 10 years, cool. I'm not going to take that from you. But
I'm at the time in my life where numbers are starting to look like that. But yeah, what'd you say?
What happened? What?
I'm just saying that I'm getting old enough to be like, nah, it's probably been 10 years, damn near.
And again, it probably has, respectfully. But at the same time, I'm saying everybody is not arguing your same point.
Okay, cool.
With 10 years of WNBA watching.
Sure, so, maybe.
To that point,
finish.
Phaz has only been watching probably a couple years, and he has the same argument as you, and it's just as valid. So I could only have been watching a year and still have just as valid of an argument.
Yeah,
no one said you couldn't. No one said you couldn't.
That's what I'm confused about.
So that's what I'm saying. Why do we keep bringing up
the
fact
that
you're the one that's always watching? Every time we say something, you're the one that has a debate about something.
Y'all doing that to discredit the credibility of what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's what you're hearing. Let me say this one thing, Lee. My bad.
That's what I'm hearing.
No, please.
I think, and this is what I'm saying, because you brought it to a whole different thing. How long you watched it? Oh, you're delusional, this and that. Okay, fine. Delusional. Don't say, let me finish this. I could have just started watching it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Inequality is inequality. Like inequality in a system I can look and see that. Like there's no age or you have to be watching. I could have just started watching. I could have never watched a WNBA in my life. And I look at some of these facts and I hear what these girls are saying. Then I look and do my own, and I can understand, hey, yeah, like they're not getting paid enough. Or this is what they're fighting for. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to be someone who watches it to understand, hey, like, yeah, maybe they should get paid more. Or maybe this needs to happen. You know what I mean? So I don't think you're coming to it from a perspective of like, no, like I'm delusional, this and that.
Can I
Regardless of how long I've been watching it, I'm just saying I identified an inequality and
can
I
I
see
ask you
what
a
they're
question?
talking about.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Because genuinely, we're talking about hearing each other for one.
Mm-hmm.
What has been my argument at this point in the conversation?
And that's one of the, at this point in the conversation, I really don't even know what you've been talking about.
No.
That is my
Everything
point.
you've said
Because I'm
has
saying
been
the
a
same
rebuttal
shit
to
y'all
what
say
we're saying.
off the lower in the rims conversation.
Yes.
The probability of paying them now. I'm saying the same thing. I'm just voicing it in a different way. And y'all are taking it or perceiving it as I'm in disagreeing with what you're saying. Even when you made the point, I was like, Faith, that was a valid point. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Because maybe there was some disconnect there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all still are proceeding to attack the narrative of that. For one, you keep bringing, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all keep bringing the, you just started watching the WNBA. As soon as I make a statement.
I didn't say
so
that.
Then it's like,
No.
okay, what the fuck? Like, what does that have to do with anything if you just
I did
said
say
it doesn't
that
matter
earlier.
about
I
how
did say
long
that
you're
earlier.
watching it? And I'm arguing the same point as y'all. I'm just bringing a different direction of the argument
No,
to
actually,
still
stop.
elaborate and
Let's
say the
not.
same thing you're saying.
No, we're not going to do this. You're not going to play. Oh, I wasn't doing anything. What you said, I do remember what you said. The argument you had was about the pay. You were saying, basically, and you didn't say this exactly, but I know how your mind worked because you sent me that video of
Okay.
Draymond Green earlier. But
Go
we
ahead.
should have played that.
First of all, I didn't send you
That they
any video
were.
with Draymond Green in it, but go ahead.
You did. I can pull it up. I can pull up the receipts.
Please,
It was
please.
Draymond Green is not in none of those videos.
He is. I promise you. I just watched it. Basically,
okay,
what it was, the point that you were making is that they are saying, how are we, you want money now? You said JG Wentworth, is that we want the money now. They keep saying they want the money now, but how are they going to get the money now based off of the company, the WNBA? We're broke. We're not profitable. That was the point
Did
that you
I
said.
not disagree with you after I made that statement? You proceeded to say they have, and even Leak said this, they have to voice it now in order for it to change later. And I said, you right. I said that. I agree with you. But
You
y'all
also
still making
disagreed,
it seem
though.
like I did not switch the argument. So that's what I'm saying. Are
You
y'all
also
hearing me or are we just rebuttaling me?
No, you also disagreed with that, though.
And then I didn't. I just said I didn't disagree. I said, but after I made that statement, and you made your statement,
But I'm telling you,
I said
that's
you're
what we
right.
were talking
That's
about.
a valid point. Even when Leaks first said it, he was like, "Well, they got to say something about it now." I'm like, true. So, and again, I argued inequality from the jump by using black athletes. I argue inequality from the jump by using other sports. So I recognize the inequality in the WNBA as well as utilizing other references for it. But again, the argument is the same as what you're saying now because I already said you clarified what my disconnect. And I said, okay, you're right. Oh, wait. So boom, the same way you're saying, and this time I'm make it make sense. We're saying the same thing. We're just delivering it a different way. I'm saying, ladies, I'm in agreement with y'all, but just be patient. It's gonna happen.
That's what you were saying. I don't agree with. That's what I do not agree with.
You're saying, and
That's
again,
what I
it's
don't
okay
agree
not to
with.
agree with that because you want to disagree so bad, and that's fine.
It's not. I truthfully and honestly don't agree with that. No, I just don't agree with that.
The same way it makes the same thing. I said this. You then proceeded after I said, ladies, be patient. It takes time. You said, okay, although it takes time, you have to ask for it now. It's the same fucking argument. You're not disagreeing with the fact that it's going to take time. You're just saying you got to ask for it now. Even if it does take time, we have to get on that. So it's the same argument.
It's not the same argument, though.
You're
it's
saying,
not
okay,
the same argument, though.
With action. That's what you're saying.
It's not the same argument, though. I'm not even saying be patient because they're not being patient. That you can't say being patient and one another the same
thing. But you just said they're not delusional to think that that's going to happen overnight. You just said that. You know it's not going to happen tomorrow, next week, or a month from now. It's going to take time regardless. There's no time frame on it. So, but you just said that, though. So what I'm saying, it's the same argument, just voiced differently.
No, it's different. I would say
it's different. It's not the same thing. We're not saying the same thing.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay,
that's fine.
Okay, I want.
No, go ahead. Yeah. Say what you're saying though. I'm just
because there's an there's already a version of this argument that exists. The letter from the Birmingham jail, Martin Luther King wrote it to the white moderate. It was him speaking to his peers, fellow clergymen, preachers, pastors, the white ones, saying that, Martin, we agree that the way you all are treated is bad. However, we disagree with your ideals that you need to disrupt and ask for change right now. You know it needs to take time. And Martin is like, that you are the biggest problem to my movement. This idea, because like he said the white moderate, the person standing in the middle is much more willing to uphold order and like rules and law versus doing what is right. And like that idea is dangerous to the movement. So that's the only thing I was bringing up. That like it is a different statement, and of course it's easy for me to quote Martin Luther King and hope it passes.
We want to use Martin Luther King, and again, I'm arguing the conversations on a more simplistic points. Y'all are arguing it more in an in-depth XYZ, which again I'm in agreement with. Y'all are making valid points, but to the point I'm saying we're saying is, and again y'all can disagree all day long. But was Martin Luther King and Malcolm X not fighting for the same thing, not pushing for the same thing, but had two different arguments, two different methods? Right. One was non-violent, one was violent.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, they're aiming for the same results, and I'm aiming for the same results for WNBA players to make more. But at the same time, I'm saying the same thing I've been saying.
Don't wear the shirt.
It's on us or whatever to help push the movement. It's not just on them or whatever the case may be. So y'all are saying they got to ask for it now, they got to act now, they got to XYZ now. Perfect. Yes, they definitely do. Y'all help me understand that because, again, you're right. Closed mouths do not get fed. So in the purpose of closed mouths do not get fed, great. But also, too, to that point, you can ask all day long, but you understand it's going to take time to make that happen. So it's the
you're
same
talking
outcome.
about time, like time as in, I'm talking when I brought up time, because you're saying time, like time is like in some months, you know what I mean, or like in this coming year.
Not gonna happen in some months.
It probably is though, because they just signed that 2.2.
The start is now. It's changing monthly, but the way they want the league to look is not gonna happen in a couple months.
What's not going to happen in a couple months?
The way they desire the league to look like is not going to happen in a couple months.
What is not? So no. What do they desire the league to look like? What is your
ideal way of the league? Because again, you're trying to make me show specifics or whatever. Yet you haven't argued with specifics. So that's what I'm saying. We're talking about in a general sense. You can say in a couple months,
I'm not talking
they're
about
going to be making more. You can say in a couple months they're going to be making more. But then again, with the increase of pay at this point in time, we know it's not equivalent to what the NBA is making.
They're not asking for what the NBA is asking. That is not the goal. That's what I said.
How is it not the goal when y'all just said that's what the goal of the WNBA is earlier in the conversation?
We did never say that. We never said that.
How's that not the goal?
And that's not what they're asking. That's the biggest problem. Because everybody that is on the other side of them thinks the way you're thinking. And they think, oh, you expect to be in the same money as the NBA? That's the biggest problem. That's why they have to wear the shirts. That's why they have to continue doing it, because people still don't understand.
We understand that they're not being delusional. But again, as the league progresses, the WNBA has the opportunity to increase at an exponential progression than the NBA has. And the reason why I say that is because the NBA has already increased so much over their time as a league. So it's only so much more that they can do to continue to grow. So much more that they can do to continue to shock the world. So many more viewers they can obtain. The WNBA is still here. Their ceiling is way further away, so they have way more to shoot for. So it's going to happen that way. They're going to increase that way. So yes, whereas you're saying we just said and again it's
I don't even get what you just said right there.
We just said the WNBA has the opportunity to be one of the greatest sports and greatest leagues ever. We said that earlier. And so, again, that's like saying, for example, and again, we've already had this conversation even with the podcast. We are not delusional to think that we're going to be the best podcast in the world. But are we not shooting for that?
Yeah, we are shooting for that.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the WNBA is delusional, and y'all even just proved it, which I have not negated what y'all said.
Who said that you said they were delusional? Or who was talking about delusion?
Why do you think they're delusional? I never said the WNBA was delusional.
You just said delusional, though. Not you were saying. I don't know if you were saying I said you were
That's what I'm
delusional.
saying. You
You
don't
said
know. You don't know. Y'all don't know my argument because y'all not trying to hear
No,
me.
I
All
you're
think
y'all
I
want
not
to hear
know
even
it.
is
I
somebody
think
who
I
may
know
not
it.
have the same. I'm not in agreement because I don't agree with everything y'all saying.
you're
He's
not
not. He's
listening to
not saying how we
yourself,
saying.
I don't
So
think.
what?
I think I know your argument. I think I can say your argument. I think you're saying that you understand that they want to get paid more, but they need to wait until the league can do that.
But I never said don't ask. After y'all
Sure,
clarified that,
sure.
I'm like, you're right. So yes,
Right. But my argument is I would argue that the league can do that now.
and again, and I can respect that argument, but that's not what we've been arguing. So I don't know your perspective on that. We've been arguing. That's what I'm saying. That for the last 25
So
minutes or
wait,
so, we've been
what I'm
arguing
saying?
that we weren't arguing the same
What
thing
what
or
did
a
I
Wait,
similar
say
wait,
that you
conversation.
disagreed with? I don't. That's what I'm trying to understand. What did I say before that you disagreed with? Because I just made a statement about them
Phase, that's
getting paid.
are
That's what
you
I want to
hearing
know.
me?
That's what I
Are
want to
you
say.
hearing me, Phase?
I'm trying to. You're
I
not
just
making
said
sense to
every
me.
time I started talking, I just said I did not agree. Did not disagree with y'all.
And then you
After you,
kept
I
you, and
said,
then you
Phase,
talked for
after you
30 more
cleared up everything,
minutes
I said I
about
agree with your
something
perspective.
else.
I did
So
not
that's why I'm
disagree.
because you got to talking about something else, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So maybe you just BSing and
Because
just talking. I'm trying to
I use
understand.
other analogies, other examples to help it make sense that I am right there with you. And every time I use it, you think, okay, well, he's going here, he's going here, he don't get what I'm saying. You're not trying to see it, what I'm saying. Because you're automatically, if it does not sound like what's coming out of your mouth, then he's
true,
not saying what I'm saying. So I'm like,
true.
okay, well, let me try to use this analogy. Let me try to go over here with it. Let me try to push this argument so I can, maybe one of these are going to resonate with my co-host so that way he understands, okay, you kind of get what, even if you kind of get what I'm saying, you're not saying exactly the same way, but yes, the conversation and the narrative is pushing that WNBA players need to be paid more. We all have agreed on that. WNBA players need to be paid more. Malik just made a good point that the league probably could do that now. I'm eager to hear how he feels so, but again, at the same time,
Mhm.
we can even argue the other narrative that okay, the league can't do that now because again,
Well,
look at the U.S. and again, this is me just using another example. The U.S. is in debt like a motherfucker, but at the
sure,
same time, we try to increase payment over here, increase this, increase that, or whatever. So you're right,
sure.
things can change now or whatever. But I promise you that those things have been working behind the scenes for so long. So to your point, y'all acting like they're making these changes and making these demands now, but you even said the inequality's been going on for a long time. So it is a slow grind. This is not something that has just happened all of a sudden now because they've just been
So
asking for it.
I feel like just
So
It's
they
because
and
something.
to
It
that
there's
did
point,
a
they've
just
already been patient. If we want
ju-
to make sure we're making it sound, maybe if we want to make it sound like the same argument, they already have been patient. All I was arguing was that
mhm.
any change takes time. The change to grow
sure.
this podcast is going to take time. So
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. But my argument
Mhm.
is just because it, and not the change that it takes to get a podcast from good to great, but the change to
Mhm.
go from inequality to equality.
mm,
Just because that process, that change has taken time, doesn't justify the time. Like it doesn't
facts.
mean that like, okay, I need to equate positive change with time. Like I
Like that's
think
okay.
exactly. Like it doesn't does that make sense?
No, you're saying right because again, it definitely makes sense. It definitely makes
And
sense.
so when and this is me because before this conversation started, I thought
Mhm.
like Phase was just saying that the argument for equal pay is ignorant in the sense of like them not understanding the financial dynamics of the WNBA. And that's why my ideas went to training, increase skill, output, the product gets better.
Yeah.
But Phase raised up the point, and like I haven't checked this Phase, but I'm trusting that is,
Mhm.
and it sounds directionally true that the players in the NBA split 9% of the total revenue that the
50.
company receives.
50. NBA.
WNBA,
WNBA is
WNBA,
not. Yeah.
WNBA get 9% of the total revenue, while their basketball NBA counterparts get 50% of the total revenue.
Mhm.
That if that is the case, and I can understand that the the WNBA players should not be the ones penalized, which sounds like the most for the cost or the improbability of the sport. If we need to pull away from the owners, if we need to pull away from uh, like the general managers, sure, because I'm pretty sure that their pockets don't look like the WNBA pockets. I'm pretty sure if we look at the owners' pockets and the people at the top, they look all right. And they're telling The WNBA players, oh no, y'all wait a second. Y'all gonna get y'all's when they come. But I'm living good right now. These are all just hypotheses off of how these type of businesses typically run. But I'm pretty sure that's how it's operating, if that's like the percentage. So in systems like that, my argument is, no, that's a switch.
Which goes back to Phaz's argument too, which I'm in agreement with, allocating the money correctly. If you pulling the money from the right sources, like you just said, you just gave 3 great resources to pull that money from to increase that. So again, yes, making it make sense. There is money and revenue to pay, but again, you got to also think about it. There's going to be cons to that as well too, because now you're asking for the league owners, the general managers, everybody to take a pay cut. If they're not in agreement with the way the players feel, they're not going to want to do that. Now, again, that's not me disagreeing with it. That's just me stating, you know, you're asking, like, for example, if you were making 100 million and somebody, now again, it is greed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But if you were making 100 million and somebody like, shit, if you make at least 80 million, we can use that other 20 million to help keep our players happy. Then boost, like you said, players happy, productivity's happy. The league is going to change over. So again, yes, to your point, yes, the league can be doing something much more about it now. To my point, it's going to take time to either whether you win the general manager, because you can't just put them out. So, and again, I'm not saying don't do nothing. I'm just realistic in an idea like, and again, y'all make this make sense with this argument, like you just said, coming into the argument. Like I said before, I think the narrative was pushed that the ladies are asking for this shit to happen right now, and we are fighting with you. But at the same time, although I'm fighting with you, I'm like, yeah, this shit do need to hurry up and happen. I am not one to know, okay, shit like this takes time, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they don't understand that either. You've made that clear, Phase. And in the beginning, I didn't, but after you said it, I was like, okay, yeah, that hella makes sense. So again, yes, the argument and perspective of somebody who came in once, like, okay, this is my way. That's not me disagreeing with y'all because I spoke first, and then y'all rebuttal came with some valid points. I'm like, okay, shit, they right. That's not me disagreeing. That's me agreeing in the sense of just sharing. Okay, valid. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and one thing I think that's pretty cool too, right, is that with these changes that we're talking about, like with the and it sucks to say because like you said, the time is not justified. The time that it took to get out of slavery doesn't justify the time that we're in slavery,
Facts.
right? So, but the fact that we have the Angel Reeses, the Caitlin Clarks, the rivalries, the storylines, whatever we want to say contributed to this burst in the past few years, it's a blessing that we do have that, because now what does that give them in any good business deal? What do you need? You need leverage. You need leverage. So now, similar to 2011 in the NBA, I believe it's 2011, I'm not 100% sure, when they having these lockouts and they're having this, they're stopping their play because they're saying, hey, like, I don't like the way that this revenue is being shared. I want more revenue for the players. I want the standard. I need this to be 50-50. I need this to whatever. So they had to continue. And just like that, that takes time. But the NBA, they have more leverage. That's the product that's bringing in money. So the general managers, the owners, they're not going to lose no money. They're not going to, okay, we're going to talk about it. Let me get to this last point. So then the WNBA, now we're at the WNBA. Maybe it wasn't the best product. Maybe it's like the past years, they weren't making as much money. The marketing was bad, like we talked about. The people not putting good news around it. The
goal's too high.
Whatever it is that they're going to say. But now, whatever it is, okay, now there's a lot of attention there. Now these ladies are using this opportunity as leverage to go into this CBA or whatever the agreement is. Now they got the $2.2 billion deal, so they damn sure better get paid. But of course, it can't happen.
And I feel like they're more dangerous too about it. If I'm being honest, I think they're more dangerous in their demands with it, which I like. Dangerous in a good way, because you gotta think about it. They already not getting paid much. So them sitting out, that ain't hurting them. This is gonna impact the league more than I feel like it is the players, which is what they want. Because if you think about it, or whatever, like you said, they've arrived. Like the gameplay is there. They balling, they hooping for real. And now they're like, look, we just giving y'all a little taste. Look at y'all numbers. So it's like we can easily show you that this can increase, this can go up, X, Y, and Z, but y'all gonna have to pay for it. Yeah, we not gonna just be working for free. So to your point, I think they're more dangerous in demands because they're like, look, bro, we already not making that much. So it's gonna hurt y'all pockets more than it's gonna hurt our pockets. So y'all might want to pay us, or you know what I'm saying, take the hit. And like his point, they not finna lose out on no money. The league not crazy. They're not finna lose out on no money, especially too when quote unquote people are saying the league's not profitable. If you're not profitable, you don't want to lose more money. So I definitely feel like it's a valuable time, and like you said, this is the leverage that they've been waiting on, and I definitely feel like they are in a great position to make the demands that they want to make. So
Exactly. So I think as far as them doing everything that they're doing now, the pay me shirts, to do this, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I'm not 100% sure, but like you said, the Diana Taurasi and the Sue Bird, they've been fighting for this for so
oh,
long.
the time's already passed. The pace is
You know what I
already been.
mean? You know what I mean? So it's like now they have a little bit more leverage. But again, like we're saying, and this is the most important point, that does not make that all right, what was done. Regardless if you've been watching it for 10 years, 1 year, 1 day, the inequality is inequality. You know what I mean? And I've seen that in the system. So I think it's a beautiful thing to see, like this big deal coming, to see them with the shirts. You know what I mean? Because it's like they need to remind us. Because if they don't, we will forget. Them
Right,
people
this
don't
can go
care.
by quick.
They will sign that 2.2 billion, keep you at 9. Now they just made a, you know what I mean? They just made a 1.8. You know what I mean? And giving you whatever it is. So I think it is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? And I'm if y'all got any more last points y'all want to do, we could talk to them now. But this has been a great conversation.
I think they need to show fans respect the league when it comes to the gameplay. Stop throwing dicks on the court. Y'all act like we didn't see that. We were gonna talk about it. Yes, we were gonna talk
Yeah.
about it. I don't know if you've seen that
Respect the
leak.
game. Respect the
Nah.
game.
They they,
Respect the
they
game.
threw a green penis on the court. But this is not helping the argument, fans.
Yeah.
Respect the game.
We gotta
Respect the
support the
game.
ladies and not support. So
But
come on, we
but
gotta do
but one
better as a
one
fan
one
base.
one thing that is funny though, right? That we talked about is that, you know what I mean, these things, these getting thrown on the court. Not, this is not good. I'm not saying this is good in any way, right? But the more we see, those are all press is,
All
you
good.
know what I mean?
Look, yeah, say it, Phaz.
You know what I mean? I want to see
All
more, like you
publicity is good
said, a
publicity.
streaker running through. Okay, we got to get more. We got to get more security.
I'm
We
about
got
to
to
say
get
that it's
more.
time now.
This is getting bigger.
It's
We're
time.
building this
Y'all
thing.
right. The league, y'all ain't a real league until shit start happening like this. They
You
throwing
know what I
pieces
mean?
on the
Y'all
court.
got to control this.
A
You know what I
streaker
mean?
finna run across. Like it's happening. The ladies are hooping like that. So the attention is there. The attention is there. The eyes are there. The eyes are there. I definitely think I think they're due for their. I don't know if they've had a streaker before. But somebody gonna run on that court soon. I see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Penis was just the beginning. You said you working on it.
I said unfortunately, yeah.
Oh, I thought he said I'm working on it. I said, leak your ass.
Nah,
Bet not run across
that'd
no
be
guy.
crazy.
Don't get banned before the league get good.
But guys, this is a great conversation.
Great
And I think
conversation.
this was the great, like, I wouldn't have wanted to
Oh, no.
spend
Hell
day
no.
30 of the Unphased anywhere else. Leak, I appreciate you. E, I appreciate you. This has been an amazing 30 days. Shout out to all the sponsors that helped us push this project. We're able to tap into this. Thank you to all the guests that came on. We're going to be thanking everybody tomorrow on the recap. So if you're here, make sure you tap in tomorrow at the same time, at the same place. We're going to be back here for another
Hold on.
recap episode of all the 30 days, man.
Hold on, Phaz. Before we
Talk to
go,
him. Talk to
because it
him.
wouldn't be right. And Leak, you have the honor to close us out. Get in your bag real quick. This is the official last Unphased question of the day moment. And we wouldn't have wanted to end it with nobody better than yours truly, brother. So this your moment to shine. Bring us on home. I'm excited. Cue the music.
How do you stay unfazed?
Yes, so is music playing now?
Yeah, you might not be able to hear it. Can you hear it?
Okay. No, I can't. Not yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
It's all good.
Let me know when it's
Do your
done.
thing. Okay.
No.
No, you speak on
Over
top
the
of it.
music. Redo, Phaz. Redo.
My bad, dog.
No, you good. You good. You good. You
Conversation
good.
is so good.
No, you good
Conversation is
because
so good.
because I don't know why for some reason he can't hear the music, but it's all good. It's there though. It's there though.
That's
So
I'll
Lee,
trust it. I'll follow to
Do
it.
your thing.
how do you stay unfazed?
Bro, I appreciate y'all. How do I stay unfazed? I've been spending a lot of time with my thoughts lately. Listen to this book, As a Man Thinketh. And I've just been trying to remind myself of a lot of good things. I'm a big believer of you, what you see, you believe, and like what you hear, what you see, what you think in your mind, you believe. So I've just been trying to like stay focused and remind myself of like the vision, the dreams, the life that I'm creating right now, and it's helping.
Brother, man, that was day 30. Couldn't have wrapped it up any sweeter than that. I appreciate you, Leak, and definitely like this not gonna be the last conversation you're gonna be on because we could take this conversation, go for another hour. We could take any conversation and talk on. So, Leak, we definitely want you on more than this.
Come on,
The
bro.
ultimate example of unfazed, day 30. We signing off with Malik Leary. We out of
All
here.
right.
Peace. Stay
Love.
unfazed, everybody.
I'm unfazed.